and welcome to another episode of Café 21. I'm your host, Ross Crawford, and in the hot seat today, we have a very special guest. She is the founder of the L Factor, offering entrepreneurs across Europe and Asia expert advice on how to market, grow, and form relationships for their business, with particular expertise in the tech industry. Welcome, Lenna Liu, to the hot seat.
Hi, Ross. Thank you so much for having me.
So you know the drill, 3 questions, 3 answers. Are you ready?
Yes.
Cool. So personally, I think what makes humans special is that we're all individuals with our own ideas, aspirations, our own creative sparks. But as you know, the business world is very competitive at the moment, especially given everything that's happened with the pandemic. So in this current climate, what skills and characteristics are crucial for entrepreneurs to work on in order to maximize the potential of their business?
That's an extremely good question, Ross, and very hard one to sort of answer amazingly. Naturally, I think that for each profession, each sector, the skills and traits would be very different, as you can imagine. However, I think in general, I can name a few. Empathy. It's so important. Always putting yourself in other people's shoes. So when you talk to someone, maybe they've had a bad day or maybe they're going through something, just to have that empathy, that sort of benefit of doubt in your mind when communicating. Flexibility. COVID has brought that so much more on. You know, the flexibility of if something happens, maneuver it, trying to changing it, pivot it, have that flexibility in your work and probably sometimes in your family life as well. Sometimes it's necessary to sort of change it a little bit so that things could be a lot more smoother. Another very important one, learning agility. To be able to learn in everything you do, whether it's, I'm learning today, I'm learning every day. And I'm still, I'm not embarrassed to say I'm no genius in Excel, but I'm still learning about how to do certain things on it. And it's just so good to, in every aspect in your daily life, to learn something every day. You feel enriched, it helps your mental stability, and you can look at things at a different light. One thing that's very hot in the market now is data-driven decision-making. So sometimes we make a decision based on what we think is the environment, the economy, the business sense. But also very, very important now is that there are so many data out there that we don't use. We sit on it every single day. Google Analytics or Google is a huge support and it's free. I think that's something that a lot of entrepreneurs and business owners should be looking at, especially SMEs who may not have the resources. That's such a good resource to sort of make a decision at, and it's really, really helpful. Last but not least, lean budgeting. It's so good that you have this brilliant idea and you want to do your website, you want to do this, you want to do that. Don't do it yet. Learn about your customer, learn about your audience, and really think about it and be as lean as possible. Because even though you have, if it's pre-seed, you have the family, friends, support, etc., you don't really want to go there yet. And if you have the results that you have, investors will be flogging to you and actually helping you grow. So be as lean as possible.
Yeah, brilliant advice. And I think we could probably take an Excel workshop together, Lenna. I think we could. It's not my expertise either, so I think we could do that together. So as I mentioned, you're kind of an expert in the tech industry in particular, and you work with businesses in both Europe and Asia. So we hear rumblings that like countries like China, Japan, South Korea even are kind of the future for global businesses, particularly as the Asian tech industry continues to kind of flourish. So how does the tech industry in Asia compare to the UK?
Well, as far as I know, in about 2020, about 900 billion renminbi, which is the Chinese currency, has been invested in 5G sector. So currently UK is in 4G. They say in about 2-3 years we'll be in 5G. I know Hull is also have certain cities that are already on 5G. And I think in China there was roughly about more than 540,000 jobs were created to flourish the sector and help it grow. So by 2030, I think China predicts that it wants to be the leader in AI. Whether that's true or not, that's a different story. I think UK in comparison isn't quite there yet. We're trying to get there. We have quite a data infrastructure, but we are slowly in certain cities, like I mentioned, Hull, are trying to sort of build and doing different things, etc. One interesting thing is offices in China are now using facial recognition to get in a building or access to an office. And I don't know if you know, one of the more interesting thing is Chinese characters are such a complex thing. It's each individual character is a picture. It's not like an alphabet sort of thing. So how do they use that on a computer system? Well, they're thinking of different ways to do it by using voice recognition. So it's not one way of doing it. They're sort of finding other complementary ways to sort of tackle the hurdles they're going through. I think that with now everything going on virtual, a lot more countries will be looking at the technology elements of it and would hope that to take advantage of this. I think China is a very strong contender with US and various other very innovative and creative countries following or doing something similar. So watch the space, Ross. I think the future of technology is going to be very wide and creative.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, especially I've grown up with things like social media, like the advancement of technology just in my lifetime has been amazing. I'm excited to see what happens when we double my life at the moment.
Yeah.
So lastly, I know you have a passion for mentoring young entrepreneurs to give the next generation a knowledge base to kind of succeed in a very competitive environment. I'm going to limit you to just one piece of advice to give the next generation of young entrepreneurs. What would it be?
That's so mean, Ross. It's so hard. Um, if they don't listen to anything else that I say, the one thing I always say, and I always mention it a lot of time, is please, please, please don't be afraid to fail or make mistakes. I have made so many mistakes in my life. I have met so many wrong people. I have done so many things that are probably huge mistakes, but I've learned from all of them. And that's made me what I am today. You know, I got knocked down several times. I've relocated in a very short period of time, but I stood up again and carry on and contend and face with whatever in front of me. Face on. I'm not saying that all the time I can be that confident because it's kind of hard and scary. And when you make a mistake, it's embarrassing. I totally understand that. But we're human. You know, we learn from our mistakes and we will make them. So why not learn from it and, you know, have a better judgment from it at the end? So that would be my one little advice if I can give that to entrepreneur and really try it out, be adventurous and you know try things out. You know it's okay if you don't succeed, it's fine. You know you know you learn from that and be proud of it as well. You know I've done that. I made a mistake. I've learned from it. I'm a better person today.
Brilliant, Lena. Thank you very much. I'm sure I failed in asking these questions. I'm sure I probably wasn't the best interviewer, but hopefully I can learn from this and I can come back next time and be a better interviewer.
You're amazing, Ross, and I love chatting with you. I'd love to do more of this.
Brilliant. So thank you so much for joining us in the hot seat today, Lena, and we wish you well in the future.
A pleasure. Thanks, Ross.